So taking risks can be intimidating, even frightening. But the truth is, I think they can also be incredibly rewarding. It can lead to new opportunities for growth that we never imagined about ourselves. And often the more daunting the undertaking, the sweeter the reward at the end. And fail or succeed, the true reward is in the journey. You know how life throws us curveballs? I believe in the incredible human capacity to heal and grow from life's challenges. We all face adversity in life, whether it's dealing with loss, overcoming personal challenge, or navigating mental wellness. Nobody gets through this journey of life without a few storms. Welcome to Transformative Journeys. I'm your host, Johanna LeRoux. And through various challenges on my journey, including the devastating loss of my son in a workplace tragedy in 2006, I have navigated a messy path towards healing and rebuilding. It's been a journey of self-discovery that has taught me invaluable lessons about coping, healing, and transforming my experiences into tools for personal growth. Each week, I'll share my thoughts and insights and dig into strategies that can empower you to rediscover yourself, learn about transforming pain into power, building confidence to navigate life's challenges, and cultivating a life of meaning and joy. Join me on this journey of exploration and transformation. And don't forget to hit that subscribe button on your favorite platform and tap the bell icon to be notified when new episodes drop. Do you ever daydream about trying something new and then tell yourself you're too old, or it's too late to start a new dream, or maybe you've told yourself you don't have the education or the training, or I don't know, fill in the blanks to do something that you've never done before? This episode is about thinking again. I want to talk to you about stepping out of your comfort zone to take chances and start breaking through your fears about trying something new. A new podcast, for example. So let's dig into that. And here we go. With a little bit of fear and trepidation. I might be starting messy, as they say, but I'm starting with the hope that if you're listening today, you'll stick with me as I learn and get better and, nail down this podcasting, talking into a mic, audio editing software stuff as I learn and get better. So welcome to the first episode of Transformative Journeys with Johanna. And guess what? I'm Johanna. I want to be 100% transparent with you on this podcast. The good, the bad, and the ugly. So I'm going to tell you right off the bat that I haven't always been very brave. I spent most of my life worried about what other people would think and letting my desire for the approval of people who I thought mattered dictate what I was willing to do or not do, try or not try. So don't get me wrong, I've done my share of quietly and privately stepping off the beaten path to explore a variety of things, but it used to be just that. Privately for years. For example, I kept my interest in unconventional, shall we say, spirituality hidden in my bedside table drawer. Worried about what people would think, worried about what my family would say. And it wasn't that I thought religion or spirituality were private. I mean, nobody kept their Christianity or their Judaism or their Buddhism secret. But I somehow felt that I needed to keep mine secret because it wasn't mainstream, and I was afraid of being judged. And another example is about 17 years ago, I began peer mentoring and public speaking around advocacy for the organization that I volunteer with. And I didn't tell my family about it at first because I was very used to feeling like whatever I was doing or was interested in wasn't valued, or always feeling like I didn't live up to their expectations, or even just hearing, disparaging comments when I started something about how I never followed through with anything. And the reasons for that are definitely food for thought for another episode, but I'm also a Gemini. And the truth is, I tend to have wide-ranging interests. Some of them I just want to skim through, maybe try once or twice to pacify a mild interest, read a little bit about, and then move along. And others I dive into long and deep and almost to the level of obsession. It's just that my interests were never the same as their interests, so they weren't valued, and living up to their expectations was a bit of a struggle. So the unfortunate truth about that particular situation was that I wasn't wrong to be hesitant about telling my family about my volunteer work, because when I did share it with my parents, my dad's first comment was, "But is she any good at it?" As if that was the point or even mattered. But with age comes wisdom, and hopefully wisdom nurtures courage. Courage to release that which doesn't serve our own higher good, like the need for approval or even acceptance from the people who aren't living our life. And when you choose to be courageous, you're also risking vulnerability. And just to be clear, vulnerability is not weakness. Vulnerability is very courageous. Brene Brown, who I absolutely adore her work, she calls herself a shame researcher, but it's about way more than shame. She talks about emotions and, really articulating and learning to articulate and defining our emotions and understanding where they're coming from. It's just, I find it fascinating. And she defines vulnerability as opening ourselves up to uncertainty, risk, and emotional exposure. She also says you cannot have courage without vulnerability, because every act of true courage exposes you to the risk of uncertainty, risk, or emotional exposure, or all three. So deciding to start this podcast is a huge step into the unknown for me, along with the excitement of trying something new. There's been a little voice at the back of my head that's been whispering, what if nobody likes it? What if you suck at it? What if the people you know make fun of you or talk behind your back about how stupid it is? What if it doesn't work out? What if you suck at it? What if the people you know make fun of you or talk behind your back about how stupid it is? What if it doesn't work out? So taking risks can be intimidating, even frightening. But the truth is, I think they can also be incredibly rewarding. It can lead to new opportunities for growth that we never imagined about ourselves. And often the more daunting the undertaking, the sweeter the reward at the end. And fail or succeed, the true reward is in the journey. And I couldn't find the original author of this quote, but I love it. It's, failure is not the opposite of success. It's part of success. A year ago, I never imagine myself as a podcaster. I listen to a lot of podcasts. I mean, a lot. And a lot of really good ones, where they've been doing it a long time. They've either perfected the whole audio and recording thing, or they're at the point where they have, people they pay, professionals they pay to do it. And sometime last summer, I started to think, you know what? I think I could do this. I've been through some shit in my life. I think I have things I could share. I think I could help some people through some stuff. So here I am, literally right around the corner from 59 years old, excited, but more than a little bit nervous, because I am totally leaping into the unknown with, technology I've never encountered, and the idea of sitting behind a mic and kind of sharing my thoughts and strategies I've used over the years, and especially, in recent years, and maybe digging into a little bit of personal stuff, and basically preparing to embark on one more new adventure. And it struck me that too many people have let themselves fall into the trap of believing that they're too old to start something new. They maybe listen to the stereotypical misconceptions about age and personal growth, but I believe that age is just a number. Our capacity to learn and grow might evolve, but it doesn't diminish with age. And nor do I think that our capacity for learning is limited to mental and emotional self-development. I started learning to ride a dirt bike 4 years ago at the ripe old age of 54. And it has been tremendously challenging at times, physically and mentally. My best friend just started learning last summer, and she's 10 years older than I am. And then she went and got her street bike license. Like, how cool is that? And how's that for courage? And one of the things, the really great things about learning to ride a dirt bike has been helping to teach me to try and look past my fear. After breaking my wrist in a fall a couple of summers ago, I was literally brought back to a confidence level lower than the first year I was riding. I became timid on my bike in a way that I hadn't been before, and I was forced to step back and evaluate what I needed to do to start to rebuild that confidence again. That meant coaching, going back, taking lessons again, which I took with my grandsons. A few years before, when I was first starting to learn how to ride, they thought I was the coolest grandma ever, because what other grandma actually takes their grandkids to dirt bike lessons and actually does them with them? But anyways, so, this whole process involved going back and taking lessons again, acknowledging where my fears were coming from, and making a commitment to myself to try and figure out what I needed to do to build up my confidence again, even if that meant starting near the beginning and taking baby steps forward, working on my basic skills to help me start believe in my capabilities again. And I'm a firm believer in baby steps forward for a lot of things, especially those things where it takes a lot of courage to step forward at all. Baby steps, little baby steps. As long as you're moving forward, it doesn't matter how small the baby steps are. So for me, from, learning how to navigate my grief journey after my 22-year-old son died, and not just surviving, but learning to how to pull the pieces of my life back together, and then going on to be trained to provide peer mentor support to others on similar journeys, and learning how to overcome my fear and insecurity over public speaking, to become a public speaker, to advocate for change, and now launching this podcast. My journey's been full of unexpected turns, and each one of them has taught me something new. So I'm 59 years old and around the corner. I'm not quite 59 years old, but it's very close. And I'm still discovering new passions and skills, whether it's riding my dirt bike, learning how to podcast, working on adapting some of the workshops I've done in my grief mentorship role that I think will help others through general personal growth and transformation. I don't plan for my journey to end ever. And Transformative Journeys is about embracing change and growing through life's challenges. It'll be about turning adversity into empowerment. I can't empower you, but I want to help you empower yourself. I can encourage you. I can share my thoughts. I can share tools and strategies that I have found have helped me on my journey and that I hope can help you become a more empowered person. But I can't make you use those tools, and I can't empower you. And listen, I don't get it right all the time. I don't always do all the things that I know will help me when I'm struggling with something. I still go through life super messy all the time. But let me tell you, I've been on the planet for, almost 59 full turns around the sun, and I've had my share of challenges. From childhood baggage to infidelity in marriage, divorce, child loss, just a lot. I didn't do it all right. I was a teen parent. Was I perfect? No. Was I a great parent? I always worry about whether or not I was, but I tried hard to be a good parent, and I did the best I could with the tools that I had at the time. I raised 3 teenagers with all the stress and drama and chaos and mayhem that entails. Did I do that right? Looking back, not always. When I look back, there were lots of things that I wish I'd done differently, but I did the best I could with the tools I had at the time. And that's all any of us can do. The thing is, the biggest thing I've learned is that we can't avoid having challenges in life. What we can do is to empower ourselves with tools, strategies, and ways to build resilience so we can navigate those challenges and come out as more than a survivor, becoming a better version of ourselves on the other side. So during these podcasts, my hope is to inspire you to take steps forward, to move past the initial chaos of whatever life challenges you might be going through, to embrace new opportunities and face those challenges head on and continuously grow no matter what your age or your background is. And today, I want to encourage you to take that leap, whatever it might be. Start that project, take that course, or dive into that new hobby. You're never too old to pursue your dreams. In the words of the great Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., take the first step in faith. You don't have to see the whole staircase. Just take the first step. If you're interested in learning more about how you can transform your own journey, stay tuned for upcoming episodes, or you can visit my website at www.transformativejourneys.ca. You'll be able to subscribe to receive notifications when a new podcast drops, and I will send you my insights for navigating grief absolutely free, because who doesn't love free stuff, right? Today, we talked about learning to start to let go of our past, about taking chances and overcoming fear, about embracing new challenges at any age, and about not being afraid to start something new. Thank you so much for joining me on this episode. If you enjoyed it or you think it would be helpful to someone, please share it or leave a review. I would love to know your thoughts. I'd also love to hear your stories about taking chances and starting new journeys. You can find me on Instagram at transformativejourneys.joanna. Also, hit that subscribe button on your favorite platform and tap the bell icon to be notified when new episodes drop. Next time, we're going to dive into what it means to rebuild from the ashes of a challenging event. One of those defining moments where you realize that everything has changed, and now you need to navigate a new and unexpected route. Until then, this is Joanna reminding you that it doesn't matter if you fall. What matters is how well you bounce. This is Transformative Journeys. See you next time. Hey, just a disclaimer, this podcast is for entertainment and informational purposes only and should not replace the advice of a medical or mental health expert. I am not a licensed counselor or therapist. In fact, I don't have a degree in anything, and there are no fancy letters after my name. I'm a full-time student at the School of Hard Knocks, University of Life, where I figure I'll graduate when I take my last breath. In other words, I'm just Joanna, a fellow human being on my journey through this thing called life, and your guide on this transformative journey.